Paul says what Rahab did was faith. And the entire chapter of Hebrews 11 tells you what faith is. Obedience. By faith, Abraham obeyed. By faith, Abraham offered Isaac. By faith, the walls of Jericho fell after the people marched around them 7 days. But hold on. Joshua and the Israelites walked around the walls of Jericho once for 6 days. On a seventh day, they walked around it 7 times. And yet here it says that work they did in obeying God was faith. We getting it? Light switch go on? What have I said the word faith is according to the Bible? Saving faith. Faithfulness. What is faithfulness? To obey God. That's why Hebrews 11 keeps saying by faith and then shows them obeying. Because faith is obedience. Faith is being faithful to God and doing what he commands. So what James is saying, you want to know what faith is? It's working. Faith is to do the works. That's what Paul is saying. Faith is obedience. Faith is being faithful. There is no faithfulness that isn't obedient to what God says you should do. They're saying the same thing, but they're addressing different audiences. James is dealing with easy believism. You think faith that saves is without works? You don't even know what faith is. The faith that saves is a working faith. A faith that works. That's what Paul is saying. Faith is obedience. No contradiction between Paul or James. They were saying the same thing all along. Yeah, that's why he says, why do you call me Lord, Lord, and not do the things I say? Everyone comes to me, listen to my words, and puts them into practice. I will show you what he's like. He's like a man building a house who dug down deep and laid the foundation on bedrock. Who puts it into practice? When a flood came, the river burst again, that house, but could not shake it because it had been built well. But the person who hears and does not put my words into practice, that's what James is condemning, is like the man who built a house on the ground without a foundation. When the river burst against that house, it collapsed immediately and was utterly destroyed. Can it be any clearer? Now you see why I'm adamant in destroying this false gospel, because I was deceived by it, but God knew my heart, and he knows the hearts of all these people who don't know any better. Who do you attack? The dogs who bark and think they can refute and not listen. So what is faith? Faithfulness. What is faithfulness? Obedience. There is no faith that's not an obedient faith, and there is no obedience that doesn't do, work the works of God. That's what James is talking about. So if you go throughout Hebrews 11, notice again, what James said was a work done by Rahab. Paul says that was her faith. By faith, she didn't get destroyed among those, notice, who were disobedient. By faith, she welcomed the spies. But James says that was her work that she did that justified her and saved her. And throughout Hebrews 11, go see what faith is. It's obedience, doing what God tells you to do. All throughout chapter 11, here. By faith, by faith, by faith. Here. By faith, Enoch was taken up so he did not see death. By faith, Abel offered God a greater sacrifice. Now, why was Enoch taken up? By faith, right? Because God said he was pleased. Why was he pleased with him? Notice what he says was Enoch's faith. Genesis says was Enoch's obedience, doing what pleased God. Here, when Enoch had lived 65 years, he became the father of Methuselah. After he became the father of Methuselah, Enoch walked with God. See what faith is? Walking with God, meaning in obedience. Enoch walked with God, but this walking, which is an action you do, walking is an action. You doing something, Hebrews says, was Enoch's faith. By faith. You see it? By faith, Abel did something. By faith, Noah built an ark. Notice it's all obedience. It's all deeds. It's all works. Right? By faith, Abraham obeyed and left. By faith, he operated. Can it be any more clear? We're done? Lord willing, we will get into Paul in part 8.